Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this webinar. So today we will be looking at what is the roadmap to be followed when you want to start your own online journey. So I'll be the facilitator for this session. My name is Nanjapa. I'm a Google certified trainer and I've been handling sessions at Up Educators for the last 4 years. I handle a particular batch, which is the A to Z of online teaching. We take all the participants through the process of starting their own online classes. Plus, I also handle a course which is AI for school leaders. Uh, Apart from this, I'm associated with a school, an IGCSE affiliated school, which is based in Coorg, Karnataka. So let's start with the session. So I'll be sharing a presentation with you all, and I will be mentioning a few tools also, which you can use. And one thing to note here is all the tools that we will discuss in this session are all free to use. Okay. So it's not mandatory that when you want to start your own online classes, you need to spend money and set up the whole thing. Initially, you can start free itself. So I'll give you a roadmap that is a step-by-step process on starting your own online class. So in this process, I'll be sharing a presentation and the initial few slides, maybe 10 slides are about Up Educators, and then we will move towards the actual content of this webinar. So it's a 1 hour session. The last 10 or 15 minutes would be for Q&A. Okay, and all of you will be getting the recording of this session as well as the participation certificate. The link for you to get the recording and the certificate, I'll be sharing it at the end of the session. So please feel free to stop me if you have any questions in between as I'm explaining the process. So let's start. I'll share the screen and we will start with the webinar. Okay, so hope my screen is visible. So basically what we do at Up Educators is upskill teachers. So our niche is educator or teacher skill building. So for that, we conduct different webinars. We have different courses also at Up Educators. So one of the most important things with whatever course or webinar that you do, you will all be getting certificate for these sessions. So for the courses, we have tied up with very renowned firms. It could be Google because we are a Google for Education partner. It could be Intel or the Skill India, Government of India certification also. Recently, we have also tied up with Cambridge International Education because a lot of schools which are starting now are getting affiliated to the Cambridge board. So we offer the CICTL program. Now, about Up Educators, we are India's leading institute to offer instructor-led training courses. So the main thing here is instructor-led, so it's not recorded sessions. So the courses have included the 21st century pedagogy, the AI tools, which are much in demand now, for especially for teachers, and all the other digital tools. The reason or the goal of this program is to enhance the learning experience and improve the learning outcome. I'm sure all of you uh, are in this path too, where you want to make learning interesting for the students. So let's move on to the other slide. I will take you. Uh, we have trained about a lakh plus educators from 20,000 plus schools and colleges across 25 countries. And we are India's largest teacher community on social media. We have about 5 lakh plus followers across all the social media platforms that we are in. We are at 4.8 rating. This is a very important thing, the Google reviews. We will be discussing about it in the session again. Moving ahead, I think I will just quickly take you through what are the other initiatives of Up Educators. We conduct International Teachers Olympiads. I think many of you are participants of this. So we do it across different subjects and topics. The main idea is to upskill teachers and at the same time give them a platform where you can interact with uh, teachers of the same subject group, okay, which is rare to find. And we have very good response for this and good feedback about this also. Some of the other initiatives, if you are part of a school, you can get in touch with Up Educators because we offer training for the schools. I mean, even preschools also, we have an initiative. And if you want to become a Intel certified school, you can get in touch with us too. Now, let's move to the actual content. I'm sure many of you are seeing a lot of job openings which are there for online teachers. Okay. And I also know that many of you want to shift to the online teaching setup because of the core competence that we all have. That is the teaching part. When you when you are part of a school, in addition to teaching, there are a lot of other things also which we need to take care. Now, let's have a small discussion. What do you think is fueling the growth of online teaching? You can unmute and answer this, or you can type it in the chat also. What do you think is fueling the growth of online teaching? Anything that you want to mention, you can unmute, and I see a few of them have typed. Okay, COVID-19. Yes. So I think we need to thank the COVID for this because that is when a lot of changes happened in the online space. Importance of one-on-one session. Okay.
Convenience
Exploitation
of
advice.
timing.
Sorry, ma'am.
Convenience of
Convenience. Okay.
timing.
Got it. Convenience. So advanced in science and technology. Okay. To save time. Convenience. Yes. Okay. Now let's look at a few of the things that I made a list of. Yeah. So let's start. So one is the change in the mindset of the parents of the students too. Now they are more willing to attend sessions online because the students or the children that we are dealing with are all digital natives who are very comfortable with the devices. The internet penetration has increased. I think that's what COVID-19 should be thanked for, the COVID. Then laptop and computer ownership has increased. Right now, I think for the students to attend a class, they don't need a laptop. as such. Smartphone is good enough for them to attend the sessions. Traffic and security are becoming issues. The point here, which says across the globe. So this is a very important thing because now you're not restricted by the geographical location. Now, previously, when you used to take classes, it was limited to the area that you were staying, or maybe a radius of 15, 20 kilometers. But now you can get students from across the globe. Online teaching has become affordable. Yes. The convenience for the teacher, for the students. And the last 2 points is what I want you to concentrate on. Now you can start any kind of course online. So it could be specific preparation for competitive exams. It could be for only 8th standard, or it could be courses that you handle or classes that you handle for phonics also, Vedic maths. So you can have a range of courses now. And the wonderful thing is with zero investment. So provided you have a laptop and a good internet connection, that's enough for you to start your own online journey. And here, the last point, easy to launch niche courses. So you will be uh, told about this particular word niche in the forthcoming slide also. Okay. So we will discuss about this part in a while. So now we have seen what are the changes or why um, online classes has become the norm. Now let's look at a few challenges. I know many of you are attending this particular session because you see that there are a few challenges also. Please go ahead, type it, or please let me know. What are the challenges that you are facing?
Inconsistency of students.
Okay. Now you don't know whether the students are really there attending the session or are they just online. Okay. Proper tools, interaction with the students, what correct platform to use. Okay. So let's look at a few of the challenges. Difficulty in getting admissions, right? You don't know where to start, all right? And then how to use the digital tools. Now, a science teacher, very comfortable with conducting experiments offline. When it comes to online, how to do it? What are the various ways to do it now? Okay. And then don't know how to set up an online teaching academy. Lack of technological understanding, then many a times we need to depend on our family members. Getting the trust or gaining the trust of parents and students. It's a very important thing because this getting the trust or gaining the trust is directly related to the admission also. And of course, some technical issues too. Okay, I see one more point here, which is mentioned diverse level of students. So in a class, also we have diverse level of students, but how do we manage this, right? So there are ways to do it. So we will be discussing about it. Now, these are all the challenges. So this is what I'll be addressing as we move ahead in this webinar. Okay. Now, why are we conducting this webinar? Because during the COVID time, up educators started with just one course, Google Certified Educator Program. And now we have not nine, we have about 12 plus courses, and we have upskilled 25,000 plus educators, specifically like who have taken the courses with us. And all our courses are online. The teachers, that is the facilitators, are spread across India. As I told you, I am based in Coorg, Karnataka. We didn't have an office until the last Dasera. That is when we started our Pune office. But otherwise, the marketing team, the counselors are all spread across India. So we thought, why don't we crystallize the good points or the best practices that we have and develop a course for this. So that's the idea behind this particular program. And we have had about 1,000 plus educators who have learned to start their own online courses. Now let's dive into the actual content of this webinar. Okay. Now here, A to Z of online teaching is what we are looking at. Now we are going to look at a step-by-step process for this. We will start with finding a profitable course. This is what you need to do. Okay. Then once you have zeroed in on the course, this is what I want to start. Then you need to design the framework for the course, the curriculum. Then you will use the tools to develop the resources. It could be presentations that you want to share with the students. It could be the worksheets, the assignments, all that. Now, once that is done, where are you going to put it? That is step 4. Okay. So you need to think of an LMS, learning management system too. Then comes the step 5, where you also need to learn how do you promote your course. Okay. And then we will end with step 6. What can be done to gain the trust? Maybe through branding. Okay. So we will look at all this. So let's look at each one of these steps in detail. This is the roadmap. Okay. Now, module 1, that is, or the step 1, is to find a profitable course. Now, with this, I would suggest you to identify your niche. Now, what is a niche? So a teacher who is handling the higher age group students, say maybe 8th, 9th, and 10th, is very good at preparing students to take up the board examinations, right? So the course that you can start off is prepare students for the board exams. So you have only 8th, 9th, and 10th students, start off with the course. Now, some of you might have learned Vedic mathematics. So you can start Vedic maths also. Now, phonics is something which is much in demand now, especially with different, preschools following the Montessori method and the phonics method of introducing children to the learning process, the alphabets, right? So that is another course which you can start. So basic thing here is to identify your niche. It's not mandatory or just that one course that you can think of. No, try to think of at least 3 courses that you can start. 3 courses. Okay. But it should be something which you are confident in delivering. Okay. Don't worry about the tools. Don't worry about the process of creating the content for it. But you should be confident in delivering the course. Okay. So this is what you can think of. Okay, I see a question here, Kalyani ma'am. Is phonics still in demand? Actually, in each of the batches that I handle, there are at least 2 or 3 of them who are teaching phonics. So in the previous batch itself, I have a teacher from Shimoga, Karnataka, who is teaching phonics one-on-one. She's very happy with the number of students that she is getting. Okay. Yeah. So that is the niche that you need to find. But as we all know, we need to keep upgrading ourselves. That is a given thing for each one of us. It could be with the tools, it could be with something new that you want to start, maybe something during the summer vacations. Yeah, you can start a short-term course also, right? Say a mathematics teacher might say, okay, foundation of mathematics. So I'll start a course on that. Or children who are maybe who have a phobia for mathematics, I'll have a specific course for them. So these are the kind of niche courses that you need to think of. Okay, so that is step 1. Find a profitable course, not one, at least 3. Okay. Next, how do you find a profitable course? That is basically how do you validate whatever you think of? Now, is there demand? okay, for the particular course that you've thought of. Now, how do you check? How do you check whether there is a demand for a particular course? I'm going to give you a tool, okay? That is where you need to check. It is called as Google Trends. Okay. So in Google, using Google Trends, we can check what are people searching for. Okay. What are people searching for? Because many of us, whenever it could be something that you want to find out, what information that you want, you will just go to Google and type it, right? Now, uh, AI tools are also there. So Google Trends allows you to or gives you what India is searching for. Okay. Now you can type maths teacher or maths tutor for board exams and check how many people have searched for this keyword. So then you know, okay, so many people have searched. That means there is a demand for it. So Google Trends, and this is one tool which is generally used by digital marketers also. The other way that you can find out is you can go to different online coaching websites. It could be Coursera, Udemy, all that, and check what course that you've thought of, is it there? And what is the number of people who have taken up that program? Or you can go to YouTube, type the content or the subject or the topic of the course and check what are the videos which are there, how many of them have viewed it. Okay, is there demand for it? Yeah. So this is how you validate whatever course that you have thought of. Okay. Now, the second step is to, once you've decided on the course, you need to design the course. That is basically build a framework for the course. Okay. Now, framework, I mean curriculum. So before that, you also need to think or keep ready how many months or weeks you're going to have this course. How many days in a week are you going to handle it? And what is the duration of each session? For example, say a public speaking course, you would say 4 weeks program, 3 days in a week, 1.5 hour session. Okay. So this also you need to ideally think of. Okay. Now, once you have thought about it, it becomes very easy for you to build a course online. Again, here, please take the help of AI tools. Now, a person who is handling the specific board content, now say ICSE or a CBSE or a state board, you already know the framework is there, right? So there is a boundary within which you know that, okay, content or questions are going to come. There is a syllabus for that. Now, something new that you've thought of, it could be a financial literacy course, all that. You need to develop the curriculum for that. Okay. Now, how do you do it? How do you develop the curriculum? Please make use of AI tools like Gemini, ChatGPT, but the prompt part is very important. Okay. You need to make sure that you give a good prompt. Yeah. Claude, all this can be used. So when you're creating this content, you need to make sure that you use the keyword ADDIE. Okay, ADDIE. Now, ADDIE is a model which is followed by many curriculum designers or what they call as instructional designers. Now, ADDIE is an acronym. A is for analysis, design, develop, then implement, then evaluate. Okay, so this is a cycle that needs to be followed for each of the courses that you develop. First, you need to analyze, okay, this is the course that I have thought of, use the ADDIE model and do this analysis. Okay, I stay in this particular area. Do you think there is demand for it? Or is there for this course, is there a demand for from students across India? So you need to do an analysis. Yeah. Then Once you are comfortable, okay, this is the course that I want to start, develop it. Develop the curriculum. Yeah. Then, sorry, design the curriculum. Then you need to develop the curriculum. That is step two. Third step here, develop the curriculum, then implement it, maybe have a pilot batch, all that, get the feedback, and then finally evaluate it. What is the feedback? What needs to be added? All that. Okay. So this is step two. Think of the program, think of the course. Step two is to design the course. Yeah. Now, the next step is once you have designed the curriculum, you need to go deeper now because you need to create slides or the presentations that you're going to use in the class. First step is you need to create lesson plans for each of the sessions. That's why I said, what is the duration of the course? How many days in a week? How many hours? That needs to be finalized. Okay. If you're a little confused, take the help of AI tools. It will guide you in a wonderful way. Now here in the step three, you will be developing presentations, maybe worksheets, assignments, and you see simulation also here, right? Now, this is something which is interesting. I would want to show you some of the simulations that we have done using Gemini. Okay. Now, this is a simulation where it is about the water cycle. So if I click on precipitation, you see how it works. Okay. Like this. So there is a tug of war game also, which can be done by you all. All this we will be learning actually in the program. Okay. And I'll give you the tool through which we did it also. This was done using Gemini. So here you can develop games like this. So these are the kind of content that needs to be developed before you start the program. So this is something like a tug of war game. So this one student will answer it. This can be shown online and students can participate online also. Okay. Yes. Now the next student tries it. No, you will see that there is a red slider which keeps moving towards the side which has been answering the question. So these are some of the simulations that you can have. I'll show you one more simulation. Again, these are all, okay. Yeah. So like this, so you can click, it'll give you the complete explanation of it. Okay. So like this, you can rotate it. All these simulations can be done. So again, no programming knowledge required. It is just that you should know to give the prompt. You will be learning about the prompting part also. This is a very important thing which all of you should start learning. Okay. And there are tools like Gemini, which will help you, ChatGPT, Claude also now, which will help us develop this kind of content. Okay. Now let's come back to the presentation here. So we can design simulations. So you will have to think of simulations also. One website that I can give you for simulations is PHET. Okay. Now something for the Indian syllabus, OLAPS. Okay. PHET is for, we have it for the Indian content also. You can just explore this. Specifically useful for science and mathematics teacher, PHET. OLAPs, there are simulations for social studies. There are simulations for language also in this. So, of course, maths and science is already there. olabs.edu.in. Okay. Just search on Google. You should be able to get it. So these are the teaching resources that needs to be created. We are in step 3. Okay. Now, the next step is to design a teaching academy. So here we are looking at LMS. Now, what do you mean by an LMS? Learning management system. Okay, learning management system. Now, in the previous step, we all created the content. So we prepared worksheets, we prepared simulations, notes, all that we did. Now, where do you store it? Right? So that students can easily access this. So this is where the LMS comes in. And there is a free LMS for all of us, which is called as Google Classroom. Okay, Google Classroom. Now, where is it found? You can go to your Gmail ID, go to your inbox. Once you're in your inbox, on the top right side, you can see 9 dots. You click on the 9 dots, you will see all the softwares that Google gives us free. Okay, it could be Docs, it could be Forms, Classroom is there. Okay, now Notebook LM is also there. So Notebook LM is something which all of you should look into. Okay, because if you just upload, and I'm sure a lot of students are already using this particular tool called Notebook LM. Okay, Notebook LM. So here, if you just upload a PDF file of the notes, now say NCRT has got all the textbooks in PDF form, right? So you upload a mathematics or social studies for a particular class, then using this tool, you can create presentations, you can create quizzes, you can create uh, assignments, okay, mind maps, and the wonderful thing is you can also create a podcast. Okay, now it is multimodal, right? Now I saw one of the challenges that some of you were mentioning. Students, how do we keep it interactive? How do we make sure that they are in the loop of learning, especially when we go online, right? So things like this will help us make it interesting for the students. And basically, actually, we are speaking in their language. So it is very easy for them. Give them an assignment in Notebook LM, see how they respond, ask them to create a notebook. These are the things which I think higher age group students are already into this. Okay. Now, LMS, I think all of you understood. Google Classroom is there. Then we also need to build our own website, because once the content is ready and you know that, okay, all this have been posted in a software that is Google Classroom, now we need to reach out to people, right? So building a website is mandatory. We will look into it in the forthcoming slide now. This is an example that I just want to show you about um, Google Classroom. Okay, so you can create different topics like this. You can see nutrition in animals. You can share assignments. You get to see how many of them have submitted, how many of them have been evaluated and sent. Notes can be shared. It could be through a PDF file or uploaded a file on the drive. Okay, and the wonderful thing, as I told you, this is completely free. Okay, I'll move to the next one. Next comes the marketing part. A quick repetition now. You decided on the course. Next, you built the framework for the course, that is the curriculum. Then you built minute to minute lesson plan, then assignments, uh, presentations, okay, and then notes also. Now here, if you have content ready, then you can use it, or you can take the help of AI tools and do it. Now, if there is any language teacher here, say you teach Spanish or you teach Malayalam or Tamil or any of the regional languages, okay? Now, you might have a question. Okay, how do I type in my content? A Hindi teacher or a Bengali teacher, what to do? Now, there is a tool from Google which is called as Google Docs. Here, this is again free to use. You can go just dictate it in the language that you want. It types it for you. Okay. You don't need to type it in English, go to translate, nothing. You just dictate it in the regional language. It could be Kannada also. It types it in the regional language. Finally, you can save it as a PDF file or convert it into Microsoft Word, all that. This is specifically for the language teachers. Okay. If you want to create question papers, it's quite tough typing it, right? So this is another option. Now, another thing with the nice feature with Google Docs is you can translate the whole content. So that means if you already have the content in English, you want it to be translated into Hindi, it will do it for you in a flash. Yeah. So you can make use of the tool. Now, coming back to the module 4, which is marketing. I know this is not our strong point because we are very comfortable being with children, talking, or maybe explaining the concepts, all that. But when you want to start your own online setup, it is better you learn a little bit of marketing part. Now, what comes here? What are the things that you need to learn? I think all of you agree that marketing online flow courses is completely different from the offline program, right? What do you think we should use? How can we promote something online? How can we promote something online? Any inputs? Okay, so here there are these three, I would say, mandatory things. One is having your own website, right? We will look at all this now. Now, having your own website is mandatory. Okay. Having a Google business page is also compulsory. Now, what is a Google business page? Now, I'm sure when you want to visit a new restaurants or you're traveling to a nice resort or something, you will check their rating on Google, the reviews on Google, right? So this is Google business page. Now, the advantage here is one is it is free to create. You can put in all the content related to your online setup. It could be the courses that you offer, testimonials, your phone number, the website that you've created, all that. And when people search on Google, it will come up on the right-hand side of the page. Okay. So having a Google business page is easy to create and free also. Now, when I talked about website, now some of you might be thinking, okay, I don't know programming. Now, what to do? Do I need to learn HTML, Java, all that? Absolutely not. Now you can develop websites. One is just by giving a prompt, you can develop the content, develop the websites. Plus, there is a wonderful software called Google Sites. So using this, you can develop your own website. Okay. Now, typically, when we have classes for this, 1.5 hour session. So by the second session, the half of the second session, okay, the participants would have created their own website, uploaded it, published it. Okay. So this is what you can do to have your own website. And of course, the third point that I've typed is the social media tools. So your presence on different social media platforms, it could be LinkedIn, Quora, or Instagram, Facebook, is, I would say, a good thing because people get to know about what is the good work that you're doing. Um, there is a lot of there are a lot of people or parents who look at what is actually happening in your institution, all that, and then they will join. So there are two aspects when you want to put out content on social media. So you just put out content and maybe share the link through WhatsApp to your friends, family, and ask them to share it with others. So this is the organic way. Now, the second question, the second method. Okay, let me put a question to you all. How did you all get to know about this webinar? How did you all get to know about this webinar or about Up Educators?
Facebook.
Facebook, okay. I think some of you on Instagram, right? So how did we reach out to you? How did we make sure that an ad is shown to you? So that is through paid advertisement. Okay. Now here, there are various ways to do it, but this is the second part that we are targeting. That is the paid aspect of it. Okay. Is it necessary to be done? Maybe initially, no. Once you have taken off, then you want to expand, then I would say going for the paid part. So here you can specifically profile people. How did we reach out to you? Because it could be that you mentioned that you are a teacher or you look content related to education or technology, all that, right? Now that is the profile Facebook or Instagram has created of it. And Instagram gives that to people who advertise and you will be able to advertise. So that means what I'm telling you is you can specifically target parents whose children are studying in ICSE schools and who are in 9th and 10th standard. Okay. So you can make sure that the ad that you design comes or shown to only these people, but that is paid. And it's not very expensive. Maybe you can start with 300 rupees per day, 200 rupees per day is also fine. Okay. Now, I explained about this website and Google Business page. That's the online presence. You can reach out to wider people. You will see ads like this, which you can design easily using Canva. That is another thing that I will be uh, asking you to do it. So this is how Facebook ad looks like. You can select gender, you can select audience in which particular age group, who are only parents, and mothers, all that can be done. Okay. Now, the next step, you thought of an ad, you know the process of doing it also, but how do you design an ad? So here, I think now you can look at a lot of tools now. Gemini will only be able to do it. Meta AI, I'm sure many of you would have designed ads on your phones also. I mean, sorry, images on your phone. Or the best tool is Canva. So you need to learn Canva. Again, Canva, the free version is mostly good enough for us to use it. Okay. But one thing that you all should try is I'll just type it, Canva AI. You log into Canva with your Gmail ID, check for Canva AI, and you'll be amazed at the kind of presentations that you can create. Very good visually appealing presentations you can create with Canva AI. Not only that, you can create newsletters, you can create brochures, you can create advertisements, and everything is editable using Canva. Okay. So this is another tool which I think all of you should learn. Now, we need to generally edit videos also, right? Now, how do you edit videos? Canva itself, okay? Canva itself allows us to make changes in the videos. As this is the marketing part, which I'm continuing, you will have to make sure that whenever you get the first batch of students, no, get feedback from them. Store it somewhere. It could be the Google business page where they write their reviews, or it could be on a book or something where they send you a message, because you will be using this to build that trust in the other new students or parents who will be joining. Okay. If it is possible, take video reviews so that you can get permission from them saying that you might be using this for the social media platforms. Create a video, edit it, put it on Instagram. That is when that trust starts building. Okay. Now, I also saw a question, or rather a point that was mentioned in the chat about demo class, right? Yes, a demo class or a webinar is very, very important because that is where you're giving the prospective students or parents a taste of what to expect, right? Now, how do you design the webinar or a class? What is the best tool? Now, here, I would say you will have to explore a tool called Nearpod. It's a wonderful tool. With Nearpod, it is same as creating presentations, okay? Now, with Nearpod, what happens is you can show them a video directly from YouTube, and in between the video, you can place questions, okay? Now, what happens with that? The problem that we all face when you take online classes, student engagement, that will not be missed here. So the student has to be in the class watching the video. Only then they will be able to answer that question and then move to the next part of the video. So Nearpod gives us that option. Plus, you can design simulations. You can design virtual reality, like you can take students to Taj Mahal and show them a 360-degree view of Taj Mahal. You can create simulations. Okay, so you're explaining about weights. You can ask the students, okay, place a 10 kg weight on one side. Ask the other student, okay, you got two 5 kg weights. If I place 1 kg, what happens? Where does it tilt? So this way, you can create a good demo class using Nearpod. Okay, you can have games also with regard to the subject that you're teaching. Okay, now we have almost come to the end of the whole process. I'll quickly sum it up too. But before that, the pricing of the course. This is very important. I know it's a little tricky. How many of you have thought of what is the price or the cost of the course? If a parent gives you a call tomorrow saying that, please, I want to enroll my child, if it is a one-on-one session or a group session, how much are you going to charge for 1 hour of class? Okay. There is no one right and wrong answer, okay, for this. So some of you might say 150, some of you might say 300, some of you might say, oh no, 300 is too less. I want 600, 1,000, 2,000. Just think of the price. Okay. And before you arrive at the particular rate that you're going to charge, please check around, look what people are charging. Okay. Some of you might say, okay, I'm starting off, so let me charge low now. And then as I get the number of students, then maybe I will change the pricing of the course. But please think of the course. Okay. Sorry, the price. And one more thing that you need to prepare is a sales pitch. Okay, sales pitch. Now here, what do you mean by a sales pitch? Now, when a call comes to you from a parent for 30 seconds, what are you going to explain to the parent? What are the things that you're going to cover in that 30-second pitch that you're going to give to the parents? This needs to be prepared. You don't need to break your head. Take the help of AI tools. It will create a wonderful sales pitch for you. Okay. And you'll be amazed at the kind of output that it will give you. And your task is to now talk to the parent in a very convincing manner. Okay. So this is the sales pitch that you all need to create. You also need to look at various CRM options, all that. Maybe softwares like Zoho, Odoo will help you do that. You also need to learn about WhatsApp business account also. Okay, the advantages of it, because you can put your brochure there directly. You can put different aspects or details about the course directly on the WhatsApp business account, not the regular account, the business account. Okay. Now comes the module 5, which adds value to the whole setup. Now with module 5, that is the step 5 or step 6, it is that you tell the parents, I am a Google certified educator. Okay. And I'm certified to take online classes. You will be learning the tools for that. That adds a lot of value. And you can, once you, actually, with this, what happens is you get a certificate from Google. You can put it on your website, you can put it as your signature, you can put it on your WhatsApp, all that. Now, this adds trust. Okay. But you will have to take up an exam from Google, which will give you certification. There are different levels. Level 1 is there, level 2, and then you become a trainer. Level 1 should be good enough for you all who are concentrating on the other subjects. Okay. Now, I'll quickly, these are all the reviews that we had. This is the branding that you can put. Now, if a little bit of marketing from my side now for the next 2 minutes, okay? Then I'll be here to take questions, and I will also share the link for the certificate. Now, if you're interested in attending a course which will guide you on the whole step-by-step process that I shared with you all, we have a 5 weeks program for this. It will be instructor-led training, no recorded sessions. You will get the recording of the session also, but we will have the session on Monday. Days are Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 to 10. Okay. So this is the timing that we have. There are assignments that will be given to you. You need to complete. Recording of the session will be available to you. And once we are done with 5 weeks of training, you will be getting a certification from Up Educators about the course completion. Then you can also attend 5 more weeks of training. Through this training, you can become a Google certified educator. For that, you need to take up an exam from Google. Now, why this course? See, there are various other platforms also, like there is QMath, and there are a lot of other platforms. And some of you might have had not really good experiences when you are on different platforms, because see, what we think is the platform is the owner of the student. Okay. Initially, you might want to start perfectly fine, but ultimately, I think you should have your own setup, because as I explained to you, all the tools that you need to start your class, it could be Google Meet, it could be Zoom, it could be Classroom, are all free to use. Okay. So why get associated with another platform where there is a cut taken from the fees also, right? So this is what we do at Up Educators. We have a batch starting on 20th May. If any of you are interested, okay, I'll share the form also later on. This is the number which you can get in touch with if you want to join the course that we are offering. Okay. Now, in addition to that, one more minute. So we also have a very popular course, that is Advanced AI course for educators. If you are a school leader, a principal, academic head, part of the management, then I think you should do a AI course for educational leadership. Okay. Other courses, we also offer innovative teaching practice courses, instructional design programs, Cambridge CICTL and CIDTL programs. This is very popular now. And we also offer STEM programs. Okay. Now with, I think, AI also getting into the CBSE syllabus from the coming year, grade 3 onwards, machine learning, computational thinking, all that is there. these courses will be of much use for you all. I think the maths teacher is supposed to handle this particular course that CBSE is coming out with. Okay. So we also have a nursery teacher training program, Montessori teacher course, teacher training course also, where you're given the materials also. Okay. Yes, I'll stop here. Before I share the link for you to get the certificate, a quick feedback from you all. How did you find the session? Hope I've been able to add value to the time you all spent with me. I'll just quickly put out if you're happy with the time or the guidance that I gave you. I've shared the Google review link. Please leave your reviews on the Google review page of Up Educators. Okay. Now I'll share the link. Thank you for the comments. So the link that I've shared now, online teaching webinar, link to get certificate. Please click on the link and you will be taken to a form. Please fill it out and you will be getting the certificate and the recording of the session and certificate latest by, I think, tomorrow afternoon. Okay. Please make sure that you fill it out. And any of you are interested to do the program with us, I've again shared the link. Okay. So if any of you have questions, you can ask me. I'll be happy to help. But please make sure that you fill out the form that I've shared. The first link is the Google review link. The second link is for you to get the certificate. Okay. I've again posted. Thank you. Thank you, Anandi ma'am. So please fill it out. If there are any questions, I'll be here for a while. Just let me know if you have any questions so that I can clear it for you all. Okay. If there are no queries, I think this would be it for the session today. Um, Good night. These laptop necessary for online courses, it would be better, ma'am, because when you want to show simulations, all that, no, it doesn't work properly on a phone. It's, I mean, if it is just you're showing the board which is there and you're taking session, I think phone, mobile should be good enough. But for a long time, sustaining the interest of students might be tough. So it is recommended that you use the laptop. Okay. Okay. Once again, share the link. Okay. If any of you are, and if you want to log out, good night. Thank you for being part of this session. What are the tools? Again, depends on the subject, ma'am. Most of the tools that I mentioned, I have shared with you all. Okay. So just learn the AI tools which are there now. Okay. PowerPoint link, no. Okay. If there are no questions, can we close for today? Thank you once again. The last time I'll share the link. Please make sure that you have entered it. Okay. So I think we will close for today. Thank you. Mamta ma'am, you can just fill out the form. We'll reach out to you. Okay. If you're, if it is about the course. I've shared the link once again. I think phonics video needs animation explanation. More than animation, I think voice is mandatory there. So as I told you, Notebook LM is something which you can look for. Animation, very easy to do using Canva. Yeah, Canva. Okay. Okay, fees of the course that you can just fill out the details, sir. There are a lot of offers going on. We'll get back to you on the. Okay, the course, ma'am, covers the Google Certified Educator curriculum also. For that, you're not paying anything. You're not paying the exam fee, which is charged by Google too. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for being part of this program. Good night, all of you.